I don't bluff, bro. I don't bluff, bro. All right. I need to talk to you Negroes about a perspective that I'm having problems understanding. So we're gonna get together some literature to help me make my point. So just hang out. You know. All right. All right. So I always have an issue when I hear about people taking a stance on something. I am in complete misunderstanding, or I lack the understanding, if you will, about about just how I lack the understanding that just how it is that people think the way they think. So I'm gonna come at it like this. I have a belief. My first perspective on belief when it comes to the way people think is how you came up. If you came up in a bad neighborhood, what's going on, Chaos? I see you, my man. If you came up in a bad neighborhood, all of your issues are going to be from your neighborhood. If you came up in a good neighborhood where nothing happened, you will travel around the world to find issues to be relevant. Remember, y'all, I charge $1 to watch my live streams. Whenever I see that I have more viewers than thumbs up, it activates this public service announcement. So remember, you need to hit that super chat. You need to be a super chat cat and give me my $1, or you need to look below and give me my $1 via my Cash App, via Cash App Coolie. You can avoid all these fees because I got a lot of fees. You can avoid these fees by just giving me that thumbs up button. I don't hate it. I appreciate it. Back to your regularly scheduled program. So I believe that when individuals, this is why when you hear, this is to me, I'm saying, when I hear about a lot of things that people are in disagreement with, I don't understand how is that bothering them. Brings us to the point of Elon Musk and his car group, Tesla. So if I put this in here, how does Tesla rank amongst cars? Tesla ranks high in terms of quality and market cap, but lower in reliability rankings. So Tesla ranks #1 in most researched car brands in US studies. It ranks #1 in studies, which is not, but it says it ranked high in term. Now I know why. I already know why it ranks high in the probability, but not reliability. I know why, because Tesla keeps everything in the house. Tesla will not allow you to take your car down to your father owns a repair shop. Tesla won't let you take the car there. You got to bring everything back to Tesla. Some people think there's a problem with that. I don't think there's a problem with that. It's your product. You brought it. You take all the terms of agreement that goes with the product. People buy cell phones all the time, want to take it to another carrier, and they say, nope, you can't. You got to do all this stuff to it. People have no problem with it. So to me, I'm always amazed at now here's an article right here. It says why Tesla is so low in ranking. Tesla has never actually ranked low. But when you put aside Elon Musk, it actually is a good car. I know Teslas are good cars. I know because I own an electric car. If you tell me, like my electric car, I've owned it now 3 years, and thus far, I only came out of pocket $139, and that's a Nissan Leaf. You're not telling me that Tesla's is not better than that. You're not telling me that, oh, well, I own a Tesla and in 3 years, I paid out $27,000, or I go get it serviced and I'm leaving there with a $1,500 a month car bill like I do with my BMWs. You're not telling me that. I'm not trying to hear that. I think the biggest perspective where we're at now when it comes to people that rank cars is it'd be better if you understood function and practicality with the car you brought. Don't buy a car that ain't built for what you're trying to use it for. All right. Yeah, I like my Tahoe, but it gets bad gas mileage. Yeah. Okay. I like my 1.6 liter, but it just ain't got no power when I step on the gas. It's good on gas, but it just ain't got no power. You got a 1.6 liter. It's not going to have no power. When it comes to power and a 1.6 liter don't go together. Unless you got a Mazda RX-7, with a 1.3 liter engine. Now that's a rotary engine. Rotary engine is like a jet engine for cars. So unless you got a Mazda and you got a 1.3, and you're not getting a 1.3 anything else and telling me you got power. All right. So I just think that when people rate cars, they just don't understand it. But where we at now with Elon Musk, all right, they want to bust on Musk. Excuse me while I just take a sip of my Carangilac. Oof. Woo, woo, woo. So a lot of people now, because of what Elon Musk is doing, they're saying, well, I'm giving up my Tesla. So I just want to be clear. This is what I'm hearing. You chose to purchase a vehicle. And when you brought the vehicle, you didn't say, hey, you know what? The Ford is better, but I brought this, hey. You didn't say, hey, you know what? Honda makes a better car, but I brought this instead. Everybody that buys a car is selling the fact, and everybody that buys a car sells everybody on the reason as to why they brought the car. But for some reason, for some strange reason, now all of a sudden, individuals that own Teslas are now returning Teslas. They're returning Teslas, and they don't want their Tesla no more. Very well said. Chaos, you know your goddamn cars. Chaos says, I love the old Mazda RX-7. They rev up to like 10 grand. He said they rev up. The reason why they rev up to 10 grand is because they have the Wankel engine. The Wankel engine's main function is circular, unlike the piston engine when the function is up and down. You see, when your main, you see how, if you look at my shirt is not moving. But when I do like this, you see my shirt and my chest is moving. That's why a V8 engine that goes up and down like this cannot rev higher than an engine that's just going around. You see there's no movement? When it goes circular, there's no movement. You can take a rotary engine damn near and hold it in your hand while it's revving high because it doesn't create a whole bunch of nonsense. It's why the earth rotates. Rotates creates gravity, right? Rotation. So the V8 doing all this shit, this is why with a Mazda RX-7 engine, you probably never got to ever change the motor mounts because they really don't do no work. So when it revs high like that, because there is no, like you see, there's no fighting going on. It's just smooth flowing. Because of smooth flowing, like Chaos said, it allows it to rev up to 10,000 RPMs. And that's true, can rev up high. And that's where they get their speed from. They don't have power, they don't have torque. Torque in a Mazda RX-7 engine is not, they don't really have a lot of torque. They'll catch you on the revving up. They create their power really on the horsepower side of things. So you're absolutely right. People don't know I know all this stuff, but it's like, you're just a talk about woman child support nerd person. No, I went to 2 schools for auto mechanics. I can take a car apart and put it. I remember when I was in Desert Storm, whenever they start bombing, we went into blackout mode. And I remember we was in blackout mode and I put a Humvee engine back together. So I remember we got up in the morning and the chief warrant officer, he's the inventory guy, or the inspection guy. And he said, God dang, Smitty, why didn't you have time to put this thing back together? We went in blackout last night. I said, Chief, I put it together last night. Smitty, you put this thing, how does it run? How does it run, Smitty? I said, Chief, I'm calling you, ain't I? I said, I should have said, Chief, come on, this is me here. But I didn't have my cocky then like I have it now. I'm super cocky. I'm a bet. Okay. I am is. All right. But you called it right, Chaos. Yeah, they rev up high. To me, the best Mazda, I like the 79. I think the first year they came to the US was 78, but I like the first generation Mazda. I think those are the best ones. The second generation, when they made the turbo, lights out. I went and test drove one, and cars are animal. Not only do you have rotation in it, but then you turn around and put a turbo on it. Damn, like what was Mazda thinking? Crazy. But so, like I said, I've owned my electric car for 3 years, and I spent $139 on it thus far, and that was to change the battery. It didn't need a battery. It ultimately needed the big battery. I drive the car for Lyft and throwing that car on a supercharger every day. When they told me that the battery is swelling up, they got to change the battery, I knew what was up. I already knew. So that's why I brought the X3 to do Lyft with my X3. And the Nissan Leaf, it just really sits in front of the house now. My man, what's going on, D. Corey? I see you, homie man person. So I knew when I went, because what happened was I would get on the charger and it would be like, it would, excuse me, I put the car on the chargers, then it'd be like, all the shit's coming on the screen. It'll shut the charging off. Like, nah, we can't charge this battery. So I had to get it towed to the dealership that does do electric cars, and the rest is history. But I knew what was up. So Tesla to me are some bad cars. You know, the Tesla Plaid, it's just a bad car. To me, I love electric. If I would, don't be surprised if I get the GMC Sierra electric. I got my eyes on that. 450 miles of range. I absolutely love that truck. And believe it or not, I already did the homework on General Motors. They're actually using solid state batteries. Not the lithium phosphate, lithium ion, whatever it's called, lithium ion. They're not using that. They're using solid state, which is now turning out to be the better batteries to use in electric cars. Well, General Motors, surprisingly, was on that from day one. It's unbelievable. I like that truck. It's just to me, it's a bad truck. So, but I'm just really shocked at how. I'm really shocked at how somebody could buy a vehicle. I'm really shocked at I'm really shocked as how somebody can buy a vehicle. Like I said, they sold the world on the fact as to why they brought this vehicle. Oh, I brought the Tesla because of this. I brought the Tesla because of that. Oh, Teslas have very good system. And I'm gonna tell you why I like Tesla. As an electric car owner myself, Tesla is the only automaker that help you beyond the dealership. All these other dealerships that sell electric cars, they do not help you beyond the dealership. This is something that you find out after owning an electric car. This is something that you find out when you say, you know what, I want an electric car. This is what you find out when you say, I want an electric car, I want to own an electric car, and you don't think at the time. You're not really thinking. And then you buy an electric car, and then you realize, you know what? Nissan do not help you beyond the dealership. I mean, I get free charging for life. That's not an issue. The problem is I cannot drive my Nissan Leaf past Richmond. I'm here in Hampton. To go to Richmond, lights out. I gotta hope that because you're now in a bigger major city, I cannot get on Tesla charges with my car. I cannot get on Tesla charges. It's not what it is. It's not the thing to have. The new what I understand now is that the new Aria is getting in bed with one of these big major companies. I think with Tesla. I don't know. I would do the math on that, but the one thing I'm gonna say this I like about Nissan electric vehicles. I do not want an electric car that has electric door handles. I think that's the only thing I don't like about a Tesla. I don't want a car with electric door handles. I think my man got the LC500. He got the Lexus LC500. And the dude got a garage built the size of my house because he's a millionaire. And he just brought the Porsche. So he brought the Porsche. So he was just letting the LC500 sit and had to break in the car, had to bend the glass back and all that to get into the car. I don't know why car makers went with electric door handles. I have no idea. I think it is the dumbest thing in the world to do to make a car with electric door handles. Why would you make a car with electric door handles? So the beautiful thing about my Nissan Leaf and the Nissan Aria is when you walk up to it, it still have conventional door handles. So the Nissan incorporates a lot of regular car functions with electric car drivetrain. Everybody else, with this, you press the remote and the door handles pop up. Oh, that's flying! Look at that! And then the battery go dead, and then you're like, yo, I can't get in my car. I'm not trying to do that. That is hideous to me. And I'm gonna be clear about something. For a person that owns 7 cars, check out what I'm about to tell you. I just I just, at 55 years old last year, I just mastered the art of keeping all my batteries charged. I just mastered it. I just mastered it. I went to Harbor Freight and I brought those 100-watt solar panels. So each one of my cars, the 750 and the 850 got 2. All the rest of the cars got one 100-watt solar panel for it to charge. It's just amazing how it's just not a good idea to let I'm spending at least $1,600 a year in car batteries. Every year the battery go dead. My Hondas, the K1200, the BMW K1200, my bike, battery go dead. Every year I'm putting a battery in. I just thought that was normal. I said it was a good problem to have because when you got all these cars, yeah, man, that's the good problem. And I'm like, man, I'm putting all this money in batteries. So don't do that anymore. Nonetheless, that's the biggest thing I don't like about Teslas. And the one thing I like about Nissan. I like a lot of things about Nissan. Like I said, the conventional car setup and the drivetrain is the only thing that's electric. Just give me an electric drivetrain. I don't want to get in there and all of my switches is inside the tablet. That's cool. That's not cool to me. When you get inside my Nissan Leaf, everything, you can see everything. I got to tell you it's an electric car. When you walk up to it and you see 0 emissions. Oh, this is electric. A lot of people don't know what 0 emissions mean. I went and picked up one dude and he was like, yo, man, how come this car is so quiet? I said, it's electric. He said, oh, okay. Oh, is that what the 0 emissions on the side mean? I said, yeah, that's what that means. Yeah, no emissions. General Motors never made a good car. Let me take that back. General Motors got a history of making messed up cars. General Motors got a history of making bad cars. I was a Cadillac man at first. In 1987, I brought a Cadillac. Cadillacs are not, General Motors is not what they're used to. Now, I'm going to be clear about something, which is crazy. General Motors got a company over in Europe called Vauxhall and Opel. The Europeans swear by Vauxhall. The Europeans love Vauxhall. They love that car. The Vauxhall that they loved that came over to America was the SS. The Chevy SS. The Chevy SS came out for what, 2 years here? Then they discontinued because it was the Pontiac G8, and then it was the Pontiac G8. Then they gave it to Chevy and put it on their platform, and it was the SS. Then when they discontinued Pontiac, that car unfortunately went with it. That car still gets sold over Europe. They love it. They love that car. That car, they swear by that car over a BMW. They love the fact that they crammed a 5.7 liter. Some of them come with the 6.2. And they love the fact that you can buy a 6.2 liter American car, but they're not calling it an American car. It's Vauxhall. Like, this is a European. And they swear by it. I would buy that car. I can name probably on one hand all the American cars that I would buy. I'd buy a Corvette, C7. I wouldn't get the C8. I don't trust General Motors to make a mid-engine car. I'm smart enough to understand I'm not trusting a cheap company to design a car that it's more physics than it is anything else. When you build a rear engine car, it's more physics than it is anything else. That's why they haven't did it thus far. There's more physics. It's a lot of physics involved when you put a car and you put the engine in the back to take a corner and having all that weight in the back to swing around and spin out of control. So a lot of physics. I think that I could be wrong, and it's the prejudice that I have towards General Motors. I think that in the future they're going to recall a lot of them C8s. So I'll take the C7. That's one car. General Motors. That's one car. I can name five. I can name on one hand all the General Motors cars I'll buy, right? I'd buy the C7 Corvette. I would buy that SS that I just talked about. Of course, it's not in production anymore, but that's the one I would have brought. I'm going to need a minute. Hold on a second to come up with the three. Notice those two cars got the same engine. That SS got the Corvette engine in it. Those are only two General Motors cars. Okay, give me a second. I would buy this. I just said I would buy the electric car. The Sierra, the new electric GMC Sierra. I'd buy that. That's three vehicles from General Motors that I purchased. I think that's about it. I would probably get the new Hummer. No, I wouldn't get that because it's too big to have only 200 and something miles of range. The only reason why I would get the Sierra, I would get the GMC Sierra is because it got 450 miles of range. That's about it. That's about it. I'd get the SS. I'd go find me an SS, 2009 SS. I'd get the C7 Corvette. And I get the GMC Sierra. That's it. I'm not buying nothing from General Motors. I'm not doing it. They've been in, as long as they've been in business, they done had Hyundai come out cheap, way cheaper than them, designer cars, and then beat them in now better quality, bigger, not bigger auto brand, of course. It's just hideous, General Motors, just straight hideous. So I will never. I just look at what's going on now with a lot of people mad at Elon Musk. And I just don't understand how you can hate Tesla. Teslas are very beautiful cars. They are. I pulled up on the side of a dude with one. He had a Model Y. Yeah, the Model Y. He didn't have the X with the doors. He had the Model Y. I said, my man, question, if something happened to that car, no. I didn't ask him that. I said, would you ever go back to electric car, to gas cars? He said, no way. I'm with him on that. I just think electric cars is, if you telling me right now, I produce a little less than 3,000 watts of electricity. I have enough solar panels to collect just under 3,000 watts of power. If you're telling me that my solar panels that I purchased, that I own now, it ain't like I financed them. You telling me that I can buy something to create something that'll refuel my car, AKA fill it up with electricity. You telling me that there's a more better narrative in buying a gas car than that. There isn't one. You cannot be in your house talking about something, boy, we making us some crude oil. Hey, put that acid down. Oh, shit. Oh, damn, it's too much. Hey, go get that glycemium fluff flake sauce. No, you're not going to tell me that. So I believe and love electric cars, and I think that Elon Musk took a gamble. It's the reason why he has went as far as he got with electric cars. I'm not understanding why people aren't giving him that credit. I hear a lot of people, not a lot of people. My ex-girlfriend said he's a South African. He's this, he's that, he's all these things. But yet, we'll turn around and purchase something made out of country. Excuse me while I take my vitamins. I don't understand the narrative. I don't. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this. You know that term, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything? You heard that, yeah? That's what I see with people. I see that with people more than anything. I see that with people more than anything. I think people run around and they want to be culturally acceptable. I think that people don't have a life curriculum. I think the unfortunates with people that want to change the way they look at something based on what a person did. I just think that these people, I'm not trying to be culturally correct. I only give a about what I do for this house. I don't care about nothing beyond what I believe. And I don't mean don't care about it like it don't mean nothing, but I have a curriculum on how I move in life. And my curriculum about how I move in life, nothing outside dictates that. I will do everything that's going to make this house better for me. I don't care about nothing. I'm not going to run around social media and I'm going to Target. I don't care. No. I'm going to Target. I'm going to Target. Honestly, I only care about stuff that happened in Newark, New Jersey. Even though I live here in Hampton, I really don't care about what happens here in Hampton. I only care about what happens in my house. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, so I care about Newark, New Jersey. Last thing that came up on my radar concerning Newark, New Jersey is now all of a sudden we got floods in Newark, New Jersey. We never had floods before. But something happened when they built that arena in downtown Newark. They built the arena for the Jersey Devils, whatever their name. I don't know if they still the Devils. They built that arena and they changed the dynamics of how water is circulated in Newark, New Jersey. Now Newark, New Jersey get floods. Downtown Newark, New Jersey, I'm talking about. I remember my brother saying, man, Newark, New Jersey ain't the same. Hey, man, there's white people walking around in Newark, New Jersey at night now. So what? So? I don't care. So what? I'm not with that everything belong to black people nonsense. But once again, I told you, I look at these people and what I've noticed, these individuals, they don't have something solidified in their life. They don't have that significant thing standing in their life. So they run around and say, oh, well, Elon Musk is doing all this bad stuff, so I don't like my Tesla no more. How is that even possible? You get in a car, you've owned this car for whatever amount of time you owned it, you lived by it, you swore by it, you never called the dealer and said, I want to take this car back, you current on your payments, you never wrote a bad review on the car, you're selling everybody the fact on, I got a Tesla. Nope, I'm saving the environment. Now you don't like Elon Musk. Nissan don't make a better product than the Tesla. Rivian don't make a better product than the Tesla. The only person that makes a better product than the Tesla is the solar. His boy that made the car, the other one. What's the name of that damn car? The other electric car. Let me see. Hey Siri, show me a list of electric cars. It's right there on my head. Not the Rivian, not the Sapphire. They made the Sapphire. Hey Siri, what electric car company makes the Sapphire? Tesla Model S. Lucid. There it is. There you go. I appreciate that, Corby. The Lucid. Thanks, man. Lucid. Right. Lucid. That's the only one to make a better car and cost more money. I don't understand how anybody can sit there and say, I just don't like my Tesla no more. I love my Nissan Leaf. I just understand its limits. So with me loving my Nissan Leaf, I will not buy another one. I keep thinking I'm going to trade it off, pay it off, and then trade it in. But I'm like saying to myself, you know what? I might just pay it off and keep it because it's not bad for what I get. I get 150 miles of range. I only paid $22,000 for it. It's a 2020. It did what it was supposed to do. It paid for itself already. I made over $20,000 with Lyft with it already. The car is really it just sits in front of the house now. I probably drive it once every 2 weeks. I probably drive, like I said, once every 2 weeks. And yeah, I probably drive it about once every 2 weeks. And I still love the car. I think that it's the coolest car. I think for $22,000, I think that I got way more than my money's worth. Think about that. I love that car. I think everything that it does, all the features that it got, it has all the top tech in it. I think the coolest thing, I think the coolest feature that came out in the 2000s was Panamera roofs. Then that changed. The coolest feature that I think came out in cars is when you sitting in your car and you put it in reverse and the Nissan Leaf goes split screen. It goes rear view on one, and then the other side of the screen, it shows you a top view. So when I'm turning my wheels to look at the camera, to look at the screen and see the wheels turning in the thing, I just think that's the most craziest thing in the world. To look and see a piece of paper on the ground and then look out the window and see the paper on the ground. I think that's crazy. I think that's unbelievable. I think that's incredible. I think that when I got my flashes on and I hit the camera button and it goes into top view and I see my lights blinking in the car. On the camera, I see the lights blinking. I'm like, yo, that is crazy to me. And that Nissan Leaf got everything. Driver assist in my Nissan Leaf. I had the same thing inside the Honda Insight, but the Honda Insight, it would just I'll be swaying in the lane. Then eventually I'll go over the lane. My Nissan Leaf, the second I hit driver assist, that mug, I'm fighting it. If I try to go over to the line, the wheel is fighting me. As the car saying, put this damn thing in the middle of the lane and stop playing. I can let it go and the mug is just going in the lane. I can go around a curve in my Nissan Leaf and just take my hand off the wheel and just watch the car curves in the turn. I think that's the coolest in the world. I do. I think that's cool. And I got it in the car that I paid $22,000 for. And like I said, in the 3 years that I owned it, the 4 times that I took it to get serviced, the one issue that it had, they put a new battery in it. They still under warranty. I only spent $137 for it. I don't need oil changes. It don't have oil. I don't need coolant changes. It doesn't have coolant. It doesn't have coolant. Because it's an electric car, the tires are a different type of rubber. So I've owned the car 3 years. The tires still pass inspection. They're like, nah, you good. You got about another 40,000 miles on these tires. Damn, really? Other than the battery, and that was my fault, I had no problem with the car. I got the app. I can go in the app, turn the car on, everything, put the heat, everything. It just linked the Nissan Link. It's just the best car, honestly. Like I said, I got more for the car than I paid for. I get more pleasure out of the car than I paid for it, and I love it. It's a cool looking car, really, it's a cool looking car. But honestly, you individuals with Teslas, and now you're giving up your Tesla because of Elon Musk, I don't understand that. That is straight garbage, garbage. It really is. But listen, I will check you guys out tonight over on Dad's Trading for Child Support. We're going to be talking about women, and we're going to be talking about why they love the court so much. All right, so come on over, subscribe. The link is below the video. See y'all tonight at 8. Later, y'all.